Hi, good evening. It is still January the 7th, and I want to talk a little bit tonight about what's going on in Oregon. First of all, there's a report out tonight that the FBI has made arrests, and I don't know. There's been so much misinformation out there that I don't know what's true and what's not true. It's hard to get any good intel because nobody's really saying anything, and I don't trust any of the media at all anymore, even the alternative media. But I want to really address the Oregon militia group. You know, you folks have dropped the ball on this. The whole purpose of the militia is to defend the Constitution, to defend the rights of the people in your state. You know, the Hammonds were charged with charges that are not even legal, and you did nothing. You did nothing. And this isn't the first case. You've had ranchers that have lost their ranches, miners that have lost their claims, farmers that have lost their farms, and yet you people up there in the Oregon militia have done nothing. You know, how could you expect? I live all the way in Florida, 3,500 miles away. It's not my responsibility to come up there and babysit your state. For one thing, you know, when militia groups from one state travel to another, that creates a vacuum in their state, in their county, in their neighborhood. You know, listen, according to the Dick Act of 1902, there are several different types of militia. And this is what the Second Amendment is all about. You know, there is the unorganized militia that the Dick Act of 1902 recognizes that consists of all American citizens. And it's the responsibility of us to protect and defend our rights. The government's not going to do that. The government's going to do all they can to infringe on those rights, which is why we have the Bill of Rights, which is why that gives us the right to bear arms in order to maintain a free state, which, by the way, Oregon, you don't have. You people have dropped the ball. You've dropped the ball. You know, and look, this doesn't mean we just go out and start blasting caps. What it means is you get out there in numbers and you start with peaceful protests. And that will lead to civil disobedience. And then if the federal government determines that what they need to do is to get tough and rough and start breaking the law by firing on American citizens, now you have not only the right but the responsibility of defending yourselves and fighting back. Let me tell you something. You know, Americans are warriors. Look at the wars we've fought with just a few people and won. And let me tell you, Vietnam was not an American citizen failure. It was a U.S. government failure. The American fighting men over there fought bravely. Korea, same thing. Iraq, same thing. The Americans, as a general rule, are warriors. We're people who fight for what is right. With the exception of you up there in Oregon. You've done nothing but help the federal government steal land from law-abiding farmers and ranchers, and you've done nothing. You know, it's a shame that you guys call yourself a militia and you can't show up and protect and defend your own people. How tragic. Listen, it's high time you get off your asses and get out there and start showing up and demanding, listen, common law, demand common law grand jury. Go to the courthouse and and pack the courthouses when they're filing false charges against people. Don't sit back and allow this to happen, because one of these days it's going to be you in court, and you're going to be left all alone, and you're going to lose everything. And then hindsight's always 20/20. You're going to say, "Gosh, I wish I would have went and fought for my neighbor because he lost his place. Now I'm losing mine." We have to stand up where we are. And if you don't stand up and fight for what's yours, you're just going to lose it. All right, have a good night.